Dito na naman ang mainit na balita mula sa mundo ng politika. Mainit na usapin ngayon sa publiko matapos kumalat ang mga pahayag na tila nagkakatotoo umano ang dating babala ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Sa ilang mga panayam noon, iginit ni Duterte na darating ang panahon na ang mga opisyal na nagbubulag-bulagan sa katiwalian ay huhusgahan ng taong bayan mismo. At ngayon, nakikita ng marami na ito'y nangyayari, lalo na kay Justice Secretary Boyeng Rimulya na kasalukuyang binabayo ng matinding batikos mula sa iba't ibang sektor. Ayon sa mga kritiko, si Rimulya ay kinikwestiyon dahil sa ilang controversial na desisyon na umano'y pagbaliwala sa mga isyong dapat niyang unahin. Ilang netizens pang nagsasabing tila karma raw ang nararanasan ng kalihim matapos ang kanyang mga dating matitinding pahayag laban sa oposisyon. Trending din sa social media ang mga hashtag na nag-uugnay sa mga propesiya ni Duterte na tila nagiging realidad sa kasalukuyang administrasyon. Samantala, nananinindigan ng kampo ni Rimulya na hindi siya natitinag sa mga batikos at patuloy lamang siyang tutupad sa kanyang tungkulin. Git nila, ang mga akusasyon laban sa kanya ay bahagi lamang ng politika at paninira ng kanyang mga kalaban. Gayunpaman, hindi mapigilan ng publiko ang maghambing sa mga babala ni Duterte at sa kasalukuyang sitwasyon ng kalihim. Sa ngayon, patuloy ang mainit na diskusyon sa iba't ibang plataforma ng media at social media. Ang tanong ng marami, ito na ba ang tinutukoy ni Duterte noon bilang kaparusahan sa mga lider na hindi naninindigan para sa bayan? Habang lumalakas ang boses ng mamamayan, malinaw na hindi pa dito natatapos ang usapin laban kay Boyeng Rimulya at mas marami pang revelasyon ang inaasahang lalabas sa mga susunod na araw. At yan nga mga balitang ating pagkakatutukan at kung bago ka pa lamang sa aking channel ay huwag kakalimutan mag-like, share and subscribe para updated ka sa mga bagong balita dito sa Tatak Pinas.
Sila BMR, solid yan. Okay? Banateros, solid yan. Sino ba? Third floor, solid yan. Yang grupo nila Ma'am Crescent, nila Tio Moreno, Ma'am Sasrogando Sasot, Ma'am Joy, mga solido yan. Makikipaggurguran yan para dito kay dating Pangulo Rodrigo Duterte. Kung yung mga iba hindi ko nabanggit, kayo na humbalang kumilatis. Ito na ho mga kababayan. Dito ho muna tayo kay Marcos Jr. At araw-arawin mo natin yung issue na yan. Buisit kayo. Heto, pakinggan mo natin. Si Marcos Jr. Marcos Jr. Oh, ano sasabihin niya kaugnay dito sa impeachment?
The merits of the case were not examined by the Supreme Court.
Oh.
This doesn't mean this does not decide the merits of the case. It just talked about procedure. So the procedure was faulty, was lacking. So yun ang assessment ng Supreme Court. It has.
Oh, anong ibig sabihin niyan? Ang sinasabi nitong si Marcos Jr., ang sinasabi ng Korte Suprema, hindi naman absuelto si Sara Duterte. Diba? Yung merito ng kaso, hindi naman pinag-usapan. Yun lang proseso. Oh, kaya kayo, mga kababayan, pagdating doon sa kaso, guilty si Sara Duterte. Diba? Yung ika nga pagsalansan pa lang nitong si Marcos Jr., hindi naman napag-usapan yung merito. Hindi pa naman na na-acquit si Sara, ikaw may doon sa mga mga ina-akusa sa kanya. Itayin natin yung February 2026 dahil may impeachment pa. Tama ba mali? Tama mali?
There's no bearing on the rightness or wrongness of the impeachment case.
And your reaction, sir, dun sa naging pagboto po ng Senado to archive? Nasabi niyo, sir, ano kayo? Interested observer po kayo.
Kaya nga, so I've observed that they voted in.
Medyo nanginginig-ginig pa eh. Brad, pagkatapos ng 2020, di ka na makakangiti ng ganyan. Ay, baka sa'yo mapunta yung views. Anak ng toko baka sa susunod. Oh my goodness.
I keep telling you, the executive has no role in this. The president has no role. I'm an impeachable officer. I cannot involve myself in any of this. So, it's really the Supreme Court.
Huwag kang mag-alala, Brad. Panalangin mo na lang na mapunta sa'yo ang views.
The Senate and the House. So yun ang kanilang. That's where the decisions were made between on the issues between the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has decided, and like I've said, that's it. The Supreme Court has decided.
Oh, hindi mo sasabihin na kailangan natin sundin ang Korte Suprema. Kailangan natin respetuhin. Hindi yung Supreme Court has decided. Hindi ganun. Dapat ikaw ang pinuno ng pamahalaan, sabihin mo na obligasyon ng bawat isang Pilipino na sumunod sa Korte Suprema. Dahil kung di natin susundin ang Korte Suprema, gusto mo rin ba magka-constitutional crisis? Hoy, bangag! Ano, tingin ka dito. Gusto mo rin ba magka-constitutional crisis tayo? Walang iya ka, oo. Ano pinaggagawa mo sa buhay mo?
The merits of the case were not examined by
Tapos na pala, hanggang doon lang siya. Eto mga kababayan, eto na nga. Eto kasi bigla tayong napaisip noong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Siguro hindi naman, ito luma na tong video na to, ay, siguro napanood na ng iba to. Kaso noong nagmumuni-muni tayo ika nga, naalala natin inendorso nitong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, itong si Rodante Marcoleta. 2019 election to 2019. Hindi ko kayo may-misled na papakita na bago yung video, hindi naman pala. Mantoka ito. 2019 to, endorsement nitong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte dito kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Ika nga yung pangarap ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, dito sa video na to, atin nang masasaksiyan ngayon sa Senado. Panoorin nun natin mga kababayan. Game!
So, para sa akin, kailangan natin kung marami kayong ganun ang asal sa buhay, maraming Rolante Marcoleta ang nasa dapat na sa Senado. Pero kung may isa lang at mailagay ka doon, maraming malaking bagay na yan at marami ka nang magawa. So para sa akin, dapat nandiyan ka sa Senado at sinabi ko sa mga tao, I said it before and I will say it again, yung Rodante Marcoleta na yan, kung hindi ninyo gawaing napakamalas na bansang ito. Yung nandyan, mga negosyante, bilyonaryo, to protect their own interest. But wala kayong mga tao na gusto talagang magsilbi para sa tao. So, para sa akin, I will vote for you. I will ask the people to vote Marcoleta to the Senate so that he can be of use to the country. Yan ang appeal ko sa tao. Hindi sabihin na politika. Hindi naman ito nagpapartido, nagpaparada dyan na anong klase. But on his own, ginawa niya yung trabaho niya. And your one distinct episode ng buhay mo. Hindi na manalo. Talo ka o panalo sa Diyos na yan. It's a destiny. Pero na may dumaang Dante Marcoleta dito sa Congress na ito. Kung mapahaba natin ang termino dyan sa Congress, whether as a congressman or as a senator, what I would like him, ako mismo isang Pilipino, gusto ko, Marcoleta sa Senado. Yan ang sinasabi ko sa kung bubuto kayo at maniwala kayo sa akin, ibuto ninyo kasi he would be an asset sa ating gobyerno. Hindi lang sa Senado. At ang Pilipinas would be better, much better, if there are people working for the Republic of the Philippines.
Diba? Nagkatotoo ho lahat ng sinabi nitong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte dito sa video na to. Talagang naging asset siya ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Hindi na mga nag-aaring-uring mga mga oligarko, kapitalista o kung sino pa man. Diba? Hindi ho yung ika nga dito sa haligang batas. Hindi kagaya ng mga kontrabida pero naratibo ng mga makakaliwa ang binibida. Hindi ho ganon si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit mahal na natin siya. Anak ng toka, paano pag nawala na abuse kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta, dialis na sila. Huwag ganon. Kabastusan yan Ay, napaka-passionate kasi natin pagdating sa pagsuporta. Kasi yung mga nanonood sa atin dito, totoong tao. totoo ang pagsuporta. Tapos pakakainin mo ng peke, nakakadiri ka, di ba? Nakuha nyo ba na, ibig ko halimbawa, sa camera na to nakikita nyo ganito sinasabi ko. Pero pag nakatalikod na ako, pag lumipat na ang bus, lilipat na ako. Anong mararamdaman nyo para kay PH Update? Di ba kahit na bago na lang kayong kahit bago na lang ako matulog pagkagabi, iniisip ko, anak ng toko, ang dami ko linokong tao. Di ba? Hindi natin kaya. Hindi natin kaya. Hindi natin masisikmura yan. May views kay Digong, walang views kay Digong, mananatili tayo. Mananatili ho tayo mga kababayan. Ayun na nga, balik ko tayo sa ating usapan. Yun ang dahilan kung bakit napaka-passionate natin. Napakahirap manloko ng tao. Hindi ho natin masimura. Eto mga kababayan, ano nga bang nangyari dito kay good ba siya o bad ding? Sir Jack, manatan mo na. Ano ba siya? Good or bad ding? Bad ba siya or good ding? I-comment nyo sa baba. Kasi kung good ding siya, hindi bababa ng ganito ang kanyang following. From 20 million, yan na nga ba sinasabi ko eh. Oh, yan na nga ba sinasabi ko. From 20 million, 19 million na lang ho siya ngayon. Palakpakan. Ngayon, ang mga kababayan natin, sinasabi nila, huwag na daw tayong magmakdo. Ayaw na nilang magmakdo. Mga kababayan ha, hihikayatin ko kayo. Tangkiligin na lang natin ang sariling atin. Huwag na ho kayong kumain dyan. Dahil ang endorser nila dyan, bad, hindi good. Dyan sa McDonald's, ang endorser nila dyan, si Vice Ganda. Ano ho yan ika nga, bad yan hindi siya good. Ano bang ginawa sa ni Tatay Digong? May pa jet ski holiday ka pang nalalaman. Ha? Loko-loko ka ba? Inaano ka ba niya? Ang tanong, magkano bayad sa'yo para gumawa ka ng ganong klaseng propaganda? Yan sinasabi ko Ang tanong, magkano ba ang ibinayad sa'yo para gumawa ka ng ganong klaseng propaganda laban dito kay Tatay Digong na napabalitang namayat na, gusto na lang makauwi at kung sakali dito na siya tapusin yung mga natitirang araw ng kanyang buhay, di ba? Tapos babastusin mo ng gano'n. Ibang usapan na yan. Mga kababayan yung mga nasa IG, mga nasa FB, alam nyo na ho ang gagawin dito sa sintu-sintu na to. Ako mataas respeto ko sa mga to kasi marami tayong kasama na kabilang diyan sa diyan sa organisasyon marami. Sino si Artio Moreno, si Alvin and Tourism, di ba? Mga kaasosasyon yung mga yan, kasali ho sila sa organisasyon. Kaya hindi ho natin pwedeng banatan. Yun mga good ding yun. Ito, bad ding yan. Di ba? Alam nyo na ang gagawin. Pagka sabi ng anak nyo, anak, Ma, gusto ko McDo. No, hindi tayo mag-Jollibee tayo. Jollibee baka naman kahit 2 2-piece lang. Kahit 1 2-piece lang pwede na. Ganun lang naman ho yung mga kababayan. Ito na, punta na ho tayo dito kay Ma'am Pinky Web. Kay Ma'am Pinky na ba tayo? Pagka nakikita ko si Ma'am Pinky, ang ganda talaga ni Ma'am Pinky. Dito tayo, game.
How do you feel?
Okay lang.
Kaya happy, did you expect po na ganun yung magiging desisyon?
Oo, kasi alam naman namin na mas marami ang gustong sumunod sa konstitusyon. Gusto sumunod sa ruling ng Supreme Court. So, expected na natin yan. Salamat.
Supreme Court's decision today, but we have to abide by it. Because you want to prevent a constitutional crisis, you have to abide by it.
Hindi ko nalang sinasabi na, hindi, si VP Sara, hindi totoo yung mga aligasyon nila. Ang sinasabi nila, kailangan natin sumunod sa saligang batas. Kung yung mga nasa lower house, mga meron na saltik sa utak, kami dito, ibahin nyo kami. Mga nasa tamang kaisipan kami. Hindi namin hahayaan na mapunta sa aso itong gobyerno na to. Hindi namin hahayaan na mapunta sa mga makakaliwang grupo itong bansa na to. Kaya ang mga makakaliwa, oportunidad sa kanila yun constitutional crisis. Sige, magkakaguluti sila. Behind the scene, papalakas tayo ng pwersa, di ba? Tayo uupo. Yun ang gusto nila, kaya huwag nyo sundin yan. Dapat tuloy yung impeachment. O, later, sa susunod na panahon, ano mangyayari? Constitutional crisis. Pero itong mga, mga senador, mga matatalino, ika.
Kahit na hindi ka nag-attend, but we have to respect that's how our constitution is, no? Kung equal branch, kailangan natin respect.
Kailan sa meron pang motion for reconsideration sa Supreme Court na
Well, by moving it, by the motion to archive, kahit po naka-archive na yan, in case po, si Supreme Court i-grant a motion for reconsideration, by the vote of the majority, we can revive ito pong impeachment. So, hindi ibig sabihin patay na. Naka-archive siya, but if the vote, in case po ang Korte Suprema ay magbago, pag mag-overturn ng kanilang mga decision, it can be revived. O pwede buhayin at ibalisan. Kaya ano na yun eh. I think it's a very fair decision.
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, maliwanag pa ako sa sikat ng araw yung naging desisyon ng ating mga matatalinong senador. Di kagaya nung iba dyan, ika nga meron pa silang nalalaman on the table. Baka nagta-table ka nung nasa school bukol ka.
Never miss a story. Unlock it.
Teka, nagulat ako doon. Sino ba yun? May nagsasalita, wala naman nagsasalita. Baka multo yun, PH. Baka multo yun, ha? Napaganon ako. Uy, yun. Ayun na nga mga kababayan, rekta na ho tayo dito kay Ma'am Pinky Web. Isa sa mga higa nga, pagka nakikita natin, sumasaya tayo pagka ganito kaganda. Kaharap natin. Ma'am Pinky Web, mega love shoutout.
Motion for reconsideration with the court. What are the implications of the Senate's decision, and is there a way to revive the impeachment case? Let's get on point with the President of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, Attorney Alan Panolong. Attorney, good to meet you. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having us here.
Very welcome. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines came out with a statement last August 1 regarding the Supreme Court decision calling the impeachment complaint against the Vice President as unconstitutional. Ito po yun, it's a one-page statement. I'd like for you to summarize this only because the IBP was referred to by some of the senators during the vote yesterday. Two of them, as you mentioned, at least made reference to the IBP position.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. Summarize it, please.
The official statement of the IBP is essentially summarized in this way. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines as a
Mga kababayan, presidente ho yan ng Integrated Bar of the Philippines. Makakala nyo, ha? Hindi ho, yung mga sasabihin itong si Attorney Alan Panolong dito, ika nga, ito talaga legit, ika nga, hindi ho ito legal mercenary. Hindi ho ito nagpapanggap na legal luminary pero mga legal mercenary. Yung mga matatandang ahas na sinasabi nitong si Senator Rodante Marcoleta, hindi ho kasama itong si Attorney Alan Panolong dito sa video na to.
a mandatory organization of lawyers in the country is for the upholding of the rule of law. We recognize that the House of Representatives has the power and authority to initiate impeachment complaint against impeachable officers. Likewise, in the same manner, we recognize that the Supreme Court, pursuant to the constitutional duty to interpret laws, has the power to determine whether there has been excesses or grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of any agency or instrumentality of the government. So we appeal to everyone to exercise restraint, and there are available remedies under the legal framework within which to ventilate one's grievance, because I understand there are differing opinions, especially in the legal community.
Yeah.
So we advise them that there are still available remedies, although the decision says it is immediately executory.
All right, we're going to go to that in a bit. Just to summarize it, you were for obviously upholding the rule of law,
Yes.
as you mentioned a while ago.
Yes.
You also said that on the second part is that the House has a sole authority to initiate impeachment complaints.
Yes.
And then the third is that the Supreme Court has the power to determine grave abuse of discretion. When you look at the Supreme Court decision, 97 pages in total, Did you agree with the decision? Did the Integrated Bar of the Philippines agree with the decision of the Supreme Court calling the impeachment complaint unconstitutional, null and void, void ab initio, and that the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction over it?
Can I say my personal opinion?
Sure, let's start with that.
I would say, based on my own personal opinion, the Supreme Court correctly ruled on the petition for nullification
ruled,
of the impeachment complaint against the Vice President.
Oy, isa to, attorney, pwede ka bang, magbigay ng advice kay Soto? Ano lang, yung mapagbibigyan mo siya ng pro bono? Kasi yung mga legal luminary niya, puro palpak eh. Kung ano, sabi niya, sabi nung legal luminary ko, okay lang kahit hindi sundin ang desisyon ng Korte Suprema na yan. Ano ba? Korte Suprema, di mo susundin. Nag-advise sa'yo abogado, baka abogado ng school bukol yun.
President Sara Duterte, because the impeachment process, if I may explain very briefly, although it's a political process, but there are guidelines set forth under the Constitution, and I'm referring to Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 1, which states that, number one, the authority to initiate impeachment is vested to the House of Representatives. Paragraph 2 of Section 3 of the said article also provides that there are two modes of initiating an impeachment complaint. One, by a resolution of endorsement of a verified complaint by a member of the House of Representatives, or a verified complaint by a private citizen to be endorsed by a member of the House. Now, within 10 days, the verified complaint shall be calendared in the order of
That
business.
shall be included in the order of
Yes,
business within
then-
10 session days.
Yes, and thereafter, within 3 session days, it shall be referred to the Committee on Justice.
Right, right.
And then, within 60 days, the Committee on Justice shall come up with the resolution. So
Yan
they
po
have
yung
to vote.
buong ano niyan eh. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, and the House, it shall be the Committee on Justice shall issue by a vote of majority shall issue a resolution. Then the resolution within 10 days shall be referred to the House, and a vote of 1/3 of the House favoring the resolution of the articles of impeachment, or to override the contrary resolution is needed. So the third mode, which is what the House of Representatives actually exercise an option, is a verified complaint endorsed by 1/3 of the members of the House of Representatives, which shall at the same time constitute the articles of impeachment.
And shall be transmitted to the Senate.
Yes, and yun na nga and the Senate shall forthwith conduct trial. Naging controversial yung word na forthwith. So, looking at that, the Supreme Court, through its judicial power under Article 8 of the 1987 Constitution, has actually expanded its judicial power, and that's I was referring to that power to settle actual case or controversy involving rights which are legally demandable, enforceable, and to determine whether there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of any government instrumentality. So looking at that, the Supreme Court, based on its decision, found out that it violates the 1-year bar rule.
Yeah.
Because under the Constitution, an impeachable officer may only be
No impeachment complaint can be filed more than once.
Yes.
For the same official within a period of 1 year.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So, and it has laid down, in fact, several parameters for observance of the due process, no? But I shared the
So
view
you
of
agree?
Senator. I shared
Yeah.
the view of Senator Marcoleta that this mode
Naku.
adopted by the Congress, by the House of Representatives, shall be read in consonance with the the provision also that the Congress shall adopt a rule. So, yun po yung ating...
All right, so you agree with the decision of the Supreme Court that it violated the one-year bar rule?
That is my personal opinion.
Personal, IBP.
Yun.
For the IBP, we recognize the decision of the Supreme Court because, you know, the decision of the Supreme Court, it forms part of the law of the land. No, once it becomes final and executory, then it is part of the laws of our land. So
When you recognize, does it mean that you agree with the decision of the Supreme Court, the IBP?
we agree.
Okay, all right, so that's clear. There were some issues that have come out, even former, well, let's just name one, former Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio, basically saying, and others, that there were what is called being factual errors. I'm not sure if you were able to read this, but I'm assuming you have because it's been going around with regards to the decision of the Supreme Court invalidating the impeachment complaint, basically because of the violation of the one-year bar rule. It actually used a footnote in one page of an ABS-CBN report to which ABS-CBN had clarified already, basically that there was a vote. It aired the vote. That's why they needed to clarify that, because it appeared that in the decision of the Supreme Court, it was to the contrary or the opposite of that. My question is, if there were indeed factual errors that were part of the decision of the Supreme Court, should they look into it again, especially with a clarification from the news report that was rather clarified? Should they look at it again and possibly understand if they did make an error or a mistake?
That is a discretion on the part of the Supreme Court. As we all know, if I'm not mistaken, 2 days ago, there were several motions for reconsiderations filed before the Supreme Court. And, well, we really don't know if the court would look into it, because during the press briefing, in fact, the spokesperson made an announcement that the decision remains immediately executory. But, well, you know, the Supreme Court can, on its power, can actually look into it if it wishes to. So it's really up to the Supreme Court to decide on that.
The second part that you had mentioned a while ago is that there were conditions laid down by the Supreme Court when it comes to the mode of transmittal of the, if you have one-third vote, you transmit that forms that constitutes the articles of impeachment and transmitted to the Senate. That's where the Supreme Court laid down 7 requirements, call it conditions, that have to be met to be able to respect the right of an individual that is being impeached. Do you agree that the Supreme Court had the right to be able to lay down those conditions when in Article 11, also, I think it's Section 8, that it says that the House shall promulgate its
own
rules
rules. Yes.
regarding the impeachment? What do you think of that?